So who is it first, the chicken or the egg? How are you getting your first proposal with no past performance? And I'm here to answer that question. And that is such a common question in the government contracting, is how to win a contract with no past performance. Let's put the mic down and get to this topic. So you don't have a past performance, you don't have an experience. It's, again, chicken or the egg, who's gonna come first? And if you think this challenge only affects new contractors, you're wrong. It actually even affects established contractors as well. It affects the established ones that want to do business with new agencies. But first of all, what is a past performance? Past performance is what the government looks for when awarding a contract, and it doesn't distinct from just having a contract. Because many 8A contractors reach the end of their 9-year window without building sufficient past performances. That's because their contractors may be spread around multiple agencies or multiple type of work, so it makes it difficult to demonstrate their expertise in one area. But don't worry, no past performance, no problem when you're watching this video. So this presentation will walk you through how to overcome this challenge. So we're going to start with the importance of a clear, focused offering. So you know what they say, riches are in the niches, niche down. When you focus on your offering, you achieve greater success than trying to be everything for everyone. So this is a very important step for you. The next step would be avoid FOMO. Most contractors, they want to claim that they sell everything. You don't want to be known for the guy that sells everything. And that's because you're scared of losing opportunities when you maybe could be possibly able to execute them. But that's not the point of government contracting. But as the saying goes, I'm saying here, but if you chase multiple rabbits, you'll miss out on the dinner. You want to focus on one thing and be memorable for that one thing. You want everyone to know you for that exact problem. For example, you want to be known like X LLC, they're known for the SharePoint guys. LZ LLC, they're known for the water management experts. And this makes you memorable and referable. Now, if you are the water management expert, the second there's a water management job, you will be first to pop in their head when they think about that job, because they know you are that water management expert. But when you're trying to sell everything at the same time, you won't have that success because you're not going to be known for a specific thing. I'm giving a nice example here, like Booz Allen. They don't sell everything, and they're one of the biggest competitors in the space. They've learned to narrow their focus down. They specialized in one area of business, which is like the software cloud management services, I think. And you get in the door with your expertise, then you can expand on your offerings. But you want to start by what you're truly exceptional at. Could be anything that what you're passionate about, you're experiencing at any area of or at any point in time, whether it's your past jobs, past expertise as a person, not necessarily as also a government contractor. Now, let's understand past performance in federal markets. You have agency-specific experience, and that's when the Department of Defense, for example, asking for specific past performances in the Department of Defense. So then in that case, you would have to show a past performance in the Department of Defense. The other type would be federal experience, and that's when another agency putting out requirement of a past performance that could be anything within the government contracting. If you've worked with the government before, we want that past performance. But the biggest, and this is probably what you will be using here, is any experience, whether it's your state, local education, and commercial as well. So it doesn't have to be these specific examples as well. You can do commercial work. What have you done to other companies? Could be what have you done in one of your old jobs, for example. And if you're experienced in that one thing, that's all what you need to capitalize on and speak about in your past performance. So why is the government asking for sort of a past performance? It's just that they want to reduce their risk when they're giving you the job. When they know you have a resume in the past and you're an established business, you're an established company, you've done some decent work in the past, that's when they think that's less stress and risk for them. They need that confidence in you to handle their specific requirements, whether it's managing their large teams, serving geographically despised users, or working in unique environments, like in the Navy SEALs, for example. but we'll get to those complicated stuff later on in the video. What is the fastest path to revenue and past performance? You want to focus on subcontracting with 25 million small businesses, and they will have access to large opportunities, and the contract size that they will bid on is below $25 million. You want to also subcontract with 10 to 25 million small businesses. So these are the mid-tier with the established systems. And lastly, subcontract with 3 to 10 million small businesses, which is the easiest door to enter. As you can see, every time we start with the hardest and we go down by the easiest. Same thing that we did in the past performance in the federal market. We know that any experienced one is the easiest, and that's what we want to capitalize on. Same thing here, subcontract with a 3 to 10 million small business contracts. Before you can secure a prime contract with a past performance, you need to get in the door with any level. So don't focus on the exact level. You just want to get your foot in the door. So start by subcontracting with other small businesses, beginning with those 3 to 10 million contracts, and they're the easiest ones to enter. And if you think about it, because of the low amount that the government is going to grant to this contract, the risk associated with that contract is the least. So they don't mind experimenting giving you that contract when you don't have federal or an agency specific past performance. Now, how to find the right small business partners? You need to identify target companies. So you can use the FPDS or the USA spending to find small businesses winning prime contracts in your target agencies. So you can go on USA spending, and from here you can exactly locate the small contracts and who they are being awarded to. Same thing that you can do with the FPDS. This is where you're going to use your research skills. Okay? And you need to contact people and reach out to people. But you can use the dynamic small business search, the SDPS, to find owner names, numbers, and emails. Give them a call, write them an email, add them on LinkedIn, contact with them, ask about what they need help with, provide your expertise to them, connect with them on a human level before you just pitch them what your company does and have it a sales pitch. As humans, we want to interact and know each other more before we start straight to the selling and the business side of the thing. So know who they are, introduce yourself very politely, very nicely, connect with them, and hopefully you guys can connect and agree on a potential contract. Now, which is the same thing, make a direct contact here, reach out personally to each business owner about potential partnership, and lastly, form strategic relationships. When you're partnering with a business, that's a business relationship that could go on for years and years and years. And that's how you can develop partnerships that can lead to subcontracting opportunities. And again, if you know where to find, you will find. So use FPDS, use USA spending to identify small businesses, and then export the list of further research. But how are you going to leverage DSPS for partnership opportunities? I'll get through a bit of that. So DSPS stands for Dynamic Business Search. It provides you contact information for small business owners, including names, phones, and numbers and email addresses, as I mentioned. And this will allow you to reach out directly to the decision makers. So instead of calling the secretary at the front desk, you're calling the top dog in that company. Instead of calling a guy in the company that doesn't really make decisions, and it's going to be a lot harder to convince him to pitch your idea to him, because they will have to go and pitch it to the decision maker as well. Might as well just go straight to the decision maker, and that's where you get the information from, which is the DSPS. And from here, how contracting officers use DSPS as well. So on the other side, contracting officers search DSPS using keywords to find qualified small businesses. For example, I know of a customer that was contracted directly by a contracting officer who found them through DSPS keyword search. So have your company listed there as well. Lastly, responsiveness matter. The contracting officer that we spoke with mentioned that they reached out to many businesses, but surprisingly only few responded. Why would you miss out on such an opportunity if the contracting officer themselves reaching out to you? So stay on the alert. Make sure you're checking your emails, checking your contact information, that they're accurate, for example. So make sure you're responsive, or you will miss on big opportunities. Another thing that you can do if you don't have current past performances is creating a compelling case study. This is very, very important. We'll go through it one by one. So what is a case study? A case study is providing an entire situation, a story from the beginning to the end. The situation, the challenge, how you approached it, how you found it, and everything about that part, and then the resolution part. What is the benefit of you getting involved in that case study, and what is the benefit of you being in that? What benefit part did you play in that case study? So let's get to the first point, the situation. And in this part, you're going to talk about what was the challenge when you arrived, aka what did you see when you first encountered this situation? And then you would need to write that down part. The second part from the case study would be, how did you address the challenge? So, okay, good on you for catching an error. Now show us, what did you do to address this challenge? And lastly, what was the outcome for the client? So you saw an issue, you acted upon that issue, and then you solved it, and then give us the results. So these three paragraphs or these three concepts you would want to write a case study on. So think in your own personal history or in your own experience. How did you encounter something like this before, and write a case study on it. In sales, we say features tell, stories sell. So you can sell as much as you want. A story is gonna outsell you by a lot, because again, humans naturally, we don't like being sold right away. We don't like direct sale. We want to relate with someone. So tell me, a case study is an opportunity for you to tell me as a business what you did. Show me your experiences without sounding so braggy about it, kind of thing. And case studies are powerful stories that help clients imagine themselves benefiting from you and your services. Even if you're just starting out, you can create case studies from your personal experiences. Just be transparent about their source. And this is the situation approach. Follow the situation approach benefit framework. Describe the challenge that the client faced. Explain the approach you solving it. Highlight the measurable benefits. This is very important. You need to measure the benefits. So if you're just, oh, I made their life a lot easier, that's going to be hard to relate with, instead of you saying, I ended up saving their time by 10%. I ended up saving their spending by 10%, for example. So measure your results and keep it concise, 3 or 4 lines per section, and you're good to go. So key takeaways for winning without a past performance. Develop a clear, focused offering. Make it easy for people to understand exactly what you sell and what problems you solve. Specialize rather than trying to be everything to everyone. This is very important. The second step here is identify target small businesses and collaborate with them. We do that by using FPDS and DSPS to create a targeted list of small businesses winning contracts in your area of expertise in target agencies. Lastly, make personal connections with these businesses. Reach out to them individually to potential partners. Don't spam. Make them very customizable, very personal, and that's how you're going to make a personal connection with the decision makers at each company. Last, tell your story effectively. So create a compelling case studies that demonstrate your capabilities, even if they're based on personal rather than company experience. And remember, government contracting is not a secret. It's a process that you would have to follow. By following these steps consistently, you can build the past performance. Past performance, again, can come through your, as I mentioned earlier in the video, could be your experiences within your company that you worked with. It's something that you can be really good at. I met a client that is signed up for Sam Search, which is the AI platform that we use, and she was a swimming instructor, and her services was in swimming, which ended up she ended up working with the Navy SEALs because she just capitalized on swimming, and she's a swimming instructor. That story blew my mind. So start with subcontracting to get your foot in the door, then leverage that experience to pursue prime contracts aligned with your expertise. Again, you guys, do not complicate it. You can still get to the egg before the chicken, or the chicken before the egg. I don't know how that thing works really, but use your writing effectively. Use tools like AI and Sam Search to help you understand what documents can be imported and you can use towards your proposal. Some contracts specifically mention, for small businesses, we want to know about this. We know past performances required, but be very careful. And the best way to do this is by really going through this contract. And if you want to understand how to win these contracts and how to skim through these contracts without missing anything, check out my video that I have listed at the end of this video on how to skim through contracts really fast without missing anything on them. Please, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, give me a like, and happy bidding. Let me know in the comments if you have anything else, and have a good day.